Say, don't I know you? You look very familiar to me.
Maybe you do. I'm a physician, but I don't think you're a patient of mine.
No, I'm not. I had a prostate exam the other day. I think we would have remembered.
I can pretty much tell from here that your prostate's okay.
You going to send me a bill for that? We should know our names first before you do. I'm Dave Larsen.
Dick DeJong.
Good to meet you. Yeah.
So we went to Chicago Christian High School.
Yeah, look at that. How about that?
Nice sweaters, huh?
They are very nice sweaters. I wear it all the time.
Do you?
I do.
Do you really?
Truth be told, though, I bought this from a guy named Jim Kwastany.
Really?
I did, yeah. Lost mine. I really did have one, but lost mine. But the other thing is that Jim didn't earn these letters here. He bought them. He knew where to order them, so he ordered them. He was athletic director. He just ordered a bunch of them. And he took Miss Van Lowe's sewing class, so he knew how to put them on. He's quite a guy. So
I'm class of 1972.
72. Huh?
Yeah.
65. Yeah.
Oh, so you're a bit older, huh?
Yeah, accurate medical observation, I'd say. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
So yeah, I'm going to this 100th anniversary celebration. Are you?
Yes, I am. I hear it's going to be a pretty big deal. They're expecting about 200 people, something like that.
Yeah.
Should be good.
So they asked me to go on stage and to try to recount like 100 years of history in like 10 to 13 minutes. Can you believe that?
No, I can't. That sounds impossible.
Yeah, I mean, teachers and places and activities and events. I mean, come on.
You mean things like the move from 71st and May to Palos Heights out of Inglewood, that stuff? People like Ma and Pa Gosling?
Yeah.
Melody Lane?
Melody Lane, you mean the hamburger and ice cream place?
No, Melody Lane. I dated her my sophomore year.
So, I'm thinking maybe you could help me. You're a little bit older. Maybe you could help with the ancient parts, and then I could be more contemporary and young and attractive. Did you?
Excuse me, I just lost my pacemaker. I'll just put that in. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Do I have to do CPR?
No, I think we're all right. Well, I did hear a lot of stories from those early years. My mother-in-law, 94 years old, she would tell me stories. A story you would not believe about. She was in a classroom, and they locked the principal out. I think his name was Wazeman or something like that.
Yeah.
He came in with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Knocked the window because they'd locked him out. And this same class put their typewriter covers over their heads.
Really?
While they were being instructed. They just ignored the teacher altogether. Do you believe that's kind of? And get this, they had a truant officer at Chicago Christian. And he would go and he'd pull those kids out of the candy store or the movie theater. It's my mother-in-law's father, and that's a true story. She was in the movie theater.
Huh?
Yeah. Stories like that, I think that would probably be, oh, you know what else they had? Social clubs. They were like sororities for girls. I don't know what the guys were doing, but they had sororities. It's kind of a strange place, it sounded like to me, but maybe those are the kinds of things. One more. She told me that they had a bus driver who was a student at the University of Chicago Law School.
Okay.
Zanster, I think his name was, from Highland, Indiana. And he told them, the second to the last day of school, you come tomorrow with your bathing suits, but don't tell anybody. So they did. Get this. They get on the bus, and he takes them to one of the Chicago beaches. Ditch school the whole day. True story.
True story.
Can you imagine that? It'd be all over cable news today.
Yeah, well, yeah, Fox News for sure.
Yeah, you're right about that. So tell me, is that the sort of thing they want you to cover?
I don't know. I was a freshman in 1968, and I remember Elko Van Dyke writing names of tardy students on his hand as the kids came into class.
On his hand?
Yeah,
No paper?
No paper. And then he compiled a list and gave it to Coach Will Slager, who had just lengthened the duration of detentions. It was like living in a police state. Do you think they want to hear about that?
No, definitely not. I think they'd want something more positive. You have anything more positive? That's what I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking you could do. Wasn't there a counter-courting thing? How about social life?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they had this counter-courting thing. I don't know if you remember, but this is when, for a week, the girls were required to ask the guys out to a social event. And if they didn't ask the guys out, then they had to wear this sign.
Did you ever get asked out?
Well, I was 4'9" my freshman year. And so no girl really wanted to go out with a guy who was half her size.
It's a problem.
So it was kind of depressing. I'll tell you, you know what I do remember though? I never asked her out, but in a biology class, I had a lab partner. Her name was Sally Struthers. No, that was a movie. Sally Denbeston. That's what it was. Sally Denbeston. And we were lab partners, and we dissected frogs. And she was a little squeamish.
Sally Denbeston.
Sally Denbeston. Now let me finish the thing. We were dissecting frogs. She was a little squeamish, but I'll tell you what. She was a looker.
She's my wife. Still a little squeamish from time to time. So that's really hard to believe.
You really robbed the cradle, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So,
I want to ask you. So, how about dating in high school for you? Any dates?
I told you, Melody Lane.
Melody Lane was a restaurant on 87th Street.
Yes, they named it after her. How about school pranks? That could be a really thick topic for you.
Okay, yeah.
Think about that. I heard once there was a guy named kid named Joe Heisinger who blew something up, a mailbox or something like that. You ever hear that story?
No. Joe Heisinger did not blow up something at Chicago Christian. He blew up something at Trinity Christian College. And then he got kicked out of the dorms for a semester. But then the president of the college kind of felt sorry for him and saw some potential, so he had him live at his house for a while. It was kind of weird.
Okay. But he noticed his potential.
Yeah.
Someday that kid's going to go places,
Yeah.
Well, okay, forget pranks. What about athletics? Kind of a rich history there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, okay. I made the junior varsity football team the first year that Coach Doug Van Boven came and started the whole football program at Chicago Christian High. I tackled Ross Bacon one time in practice, and the rest of the time, Coach DeWint had me ride the bench. I think he thought I was going to get hurt. But anyway, they gave me this letter. Yeah. Whoa.
it's kind of a small letter, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can get some bigger ones from Jim Quastany. So, any other sports you can remember?
Yes, I'll tell you what I remember. I remember the 1972 varsity basketball team. They had one loss early.
Is this going to be a long story?
This is going to be, yeah. Well,
Okay.
we've got 35 minutes, so we're
Right.
going to go for it. They had one loss early in the season to Timothy, actually, and then ran the tables, went 16-1, undefeated. Those guys were something else. Don Nort, Dave Kloss, Hal Brown, those guys were good.
Those were good, yeah.
Yeah.
So, championship team, on to state, what was the deal?
Well, this was the first year of the state class system, and I don't know, you might remember this, but schools over 750 were class AA, and then we just made class A, and the whole the newspapers were writing articles that we're going to go down state and win a championship. We pretty much rolled through the regionals and sectionals, not even one close game, got to the super sectionals, and went down to Pontiac for the super sectional game against Streeter Woodlawn. And I'll tell you what, the entire school went, the gym was packed. During warm-ups, it really looked good. Streeter did not have anybody over anybody over 6 feet tall. I mean, the CCH fans were celebrating in the stands before the game started.
So, they went on and took state.
Well, Streeter Woodlawn stalled. They slowed things way down. This was before the three-point shot. This was before the time clock. They just slowed things way down, took these long shots. They kept going in. And at the end of 4 quarters, 48 all, super low scoring game. So it goes to a 3-minute overtime. They slowed it down some more. And with 7 seconds to go, they launch this outside shot, and it rims out, but it's tipped in to win the game. It was the most devastating loss in basketball I've ever seen.
You ever thought of becoming a sportscaster?
It was devastating. I'm telling you, it was devastating.
Well, you know, they had a really rich history at Chicago Christian Athletics. It's something you could talk about, although you might want to check out the team of 1965 while you're at it. By the way, another thing you could talk about, the arts, drama, music, that whole tradition. I mean, Gary Meyer and Kristen Lenter's wonderful productions. That could fill some time.
Okay.
I don't know how you cover it, but it could fill some time.
Yeah, I actually was in a few plays back in the day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Still didn't get any dates, but I was in a couple of them. I'll tell you what, though, the play that I remember, it was not when I was in school, but when my kids were in school. I was in the audience, and it was the play's called 12 Angry Jurors. And the scene is in a jury deliberation room, and the jury is deliberating a seemingly open and shut case, and one of the lead actors recounting the crime in a fit of emotion dramatically, I'll stand up for this, dramatically takes a knife and impales it into the table of the jury room. The problem is, this was a real folding knife blade, and the actor managed to deliver quite a laceration to his hand. So the kids noticed this, and they tried to cover it up, but as they moved around, there was this trail of real blood all the way through this the set. Well, the kids made it to intermission, and then I thought, boy, I better go. So I go backstage, and I see this kid, and he's got a good laceration on his hand, and I had to send him to the emergency room. But you know what? A faculty member read that kid's part for the second half. The kid got some stitches and was fine, but the play will always be remembered in the school's history. You know what they say? The show must go
Show
on.
must go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe this one will too. I don't know. Yeah. You know, those are great memories. I think those are all great stories to tell, but I still don't know how you're going to do that in 13 minutes.
I
mean,
know.
come
I
on.
know. 13 minutes. I might.
The committee said 13 minutes.
Yeah, I might tell them it's impossible and beg off. I don't know. What about you? Was high school a good thing for you?
Yeah, it really was.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Great memories, outstanding teachers, friends for life, shaped my faith, gave me a sense of what life was all about. Yeah, it was a great experience. Chicago Christian, great place. How about you?
Yeah, yeah, I would say that too. You know, for me, it was really good academic preparation for going to college and then on to medicine. Yeah.
You know, when I was there, my name's Larsen. Did I tell you that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Dick DeJong, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think we did introduce ourselves.
Did we?
earlier. Yeah. You know,
We missed some of the first lines, so
yes,
but anyway.
okay. When I was there at Chicago Christian with a name like Larsen, I was an example of diversity.
Really?
You know, and there were always these remarks about Larsen Sma, you know, and Van Larsen, and jokes that were really dumb jokes. But I hear things are different today. I wonder if that's what you've heard too. I've heard things are much better.
Yeah, they are. You know, I just
Fewer Scandinavians. But
I just completed a term on the board,
Yeah.
actually, and we've got quite a bit of diversity that we did not have in the old days. And it's, you know what, it's got a nice feel to it. It feels a little bit more like what the kingdom of God looks and feels like. We've got kids from over 150 churches that go to the school now. It's quite the mix.
sounds great.
Yep.
Sounds like what Christian education should be anywhere, don't you think?
Yep.
Well, hey, it's been really nice talking to you.
I don't think we're quite done yet.
We're not?
No. Do you remember, there's one more thing. There's one more thing. You've got the script right here.
Oh. Oh, yeah. You're right.
It's upside down, yeah. Do you remember?
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We got the last
It's
part,
coming.
yeah. Do you remember the old Bible teacher, John
John
Rose?
Rosa. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he was quite the guy.
Yeah.
I can remember him pointing his finger at us at the class, not every day, but often, and he would say, "Remember, there is such a thing as absolute truth."
Yeah.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, that's
He
good
really
stuff.
knew his Bible, right?
Yeah, that guy really knew his Bible. You know, I was going through some yearbooks, you know, thinking, okay, if I have to do this 100th anniversary thing, maybe I'll look through some yearbooks and see if I can find some stuff. And I found a quote. I think I've got it here, actually. I found a quote. What do you think? You think this is from the 72 yearbook? You think I should use this quote? Here's the quote from the 72 yearbook. In choosing God as the source of truth, one realizes how little one knows, how small one is, and how much to fear the Lord.
I'd go with that.
Yeah, you think?
There's some meat there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we'll see you at that. When is that coming up, by the way?
April 20.
Wow, you better get moving. That's what I got to say.
All right,
Nice
good
to
seeing
meet
you. Good
Yeah,
meeting
Take
you.
care.